Welcome back for another week of Native Honor Hours. I'm Ed Zendejas and co-host
Cindy Krafka.
We have a very special guest today with us out of Winnebago, Nebraska right now, Terrance Medina. He's currently probation officer / court administrator right now, Terry?
Yes.
But he also runs a very special program. Is it a nonprofit, Terry, or just
It's nonprofit out of Arizona.
It's called It's Fatherhood and Motherhood Are Sacred.
Yeah, fatherhood / motherhood is sacred. Just one of the programs I teach. Albert Pooley, who's half Navajo, half Hopi, created the program back 19 years ago. So I've been teaching this class for 19 years. I've been everywhere, and we're fortunate. This coming Wednesday, what's the date? Next Wednesday. Is it the 18th? No, the 19th. May 19th, Albert Pooley. We're going to have our father / mother sacred conference at Winnebago Casino. This year, we got a grant from the alcohol program, so no cost whatsoever. And Mr. Pooley is going to be here for 3 days talking about not just fatherhood, mother sacred, but he has another program called Linking Generations by Strengthening Relationships. And the new one, the domestic violence one, is addressing family violence and abuse. So I'm certified to teach all of them. And I've been in probation here. Geez, it's going on 32 years now. I've been here as a probation officer.
You own that place.
What's that?
You own that place.
Hey, I'm telling you, boy. So now I'm court administrator again. And, I can do it, but I got to be in the trenches with the people. I feel bad. I had to cancel some classes. And right now, I want to mention, we've been around 19 years now. So we say it like this. Here's a father over here. Here's a mother over here. So look at you come together. Boom. You're the co-creators of your children. So as a co-creator with your children, with the creator God, Mauna, Tekansla, Wakanda, Jesus, whatever name you give them, your higher power, he blesses you, those children. So we tell the fathers and mothers, be a blessing to them. Bless them with loving acts of kindness, with prayer, with spirituality, with patience, spending time with them, cultivate that. We say, if you're not a blessing, you're a burden. How can you be a good mom or a good dad if you're on the streets, you're addicted, you're in jail, you're in prison? So we talk about selfishness, self-centeredness, being selfish. So now, when we first started this program, there was the Winnebago tribe had the honor to be the third chapter in the country 19 years ago. Now there's over 250 tribes that have the program. Plus now, one of our visions, one of our goals was reach out to non-native families, fathers, mothers. So now the state of Iowa, DHS, Rosecrans Jackson there in Sioux City, Iowa. So tonight I have class up to Rosecrans Jackson. So tonight I'll have 55 white mothers, Hispanic mothers, fathers, mothers. So I got 55 people in the class. They're all
wow,
50, I got one Native American.
55?
Well, 55, it's a big class. So just that example I gave you, you're either a blessing or a burden, they can feel it. We got behavioral health, we got mental health, we got all the people that try to serve the people. To me, I'm giving a talk on Friday. It's called Empowerment Through Spirituality. You guys see it. Ed sees it. We see it every day. We see people, they walk around with a broken heart. Then even worse than that heart is shattered to pieces. Their spirit's broken and their souls wonder. Native Americans, we lead the nation. Suicide attempts, on and on. So spirituality, empowerment is what I try to do. I have my back in my office, got my eagle feather, got my sage, got my shell, bless them, smoke them off. Now, finally, the Washishas, the non-natives are looking at our native ways and our native spirituality. So they're going to do Rosecrans Jackson. They have a big annual report. So on the cover this year, probably be my greasy face and the special on the father and mother and sacred. So I'll be going up to Rockport, Illinois. And so now what we're going to do at the conference, we're going to have Shane Frisk, the Iowa Woodbury County DHS director. We're going to have Phil Eaton going to fly in from, I think he's going to fly in from Illinois. So they're going to tell the story how they opened the doors to us. One of my old classmates, Mike Reynolds, he works there and he does outreach. So he kind of opened the doors for me to go into the Jackson Center. So it'll be 3 years I've been teaching the men. Finally, after 3 years, they finally allowed the ladies to come into class. And so a lot of times, you know, Ed, how I do it. I try to treat people with respect, but I'm always challenging people like Shane Frisch. Shane, what's your title? You're the director of Iowa DHS. Be a blessing to these relatives. Don't be a burden. I don't want to have you put up an invisible barrier wall. Bless these families. So now they've done it. Monday, May 24th, I start my summer session with DHS, and about 23 people, mother and father, already signed up, and only 2 are Native. I think Hispanics in there, some African Americans, and some non-Native. So in our neck of the woods, it's fatherhood and motherhood every day. That's my title, probation officer / court administrator, but that's just my title. To me, it's fatherhood, motherhood, sacred 24/7. We had a meeting this morning with our truancy, and we have a new resource officer. So we all got titles, but then again, we talk about how can we serve these children that are truant, that are on probation. Well, we can do the best we can for them, but the bottom line to me is we have to get into those homes with the mothers and fathers. So that's where it's at. So we take when I say we, the National Native American Father and Family Association, we take a different approach. You know, we try to uplift that person. We try to inspire them, motivate them. You know, I say it the best way I can. My wife, she's my hero. A couple master's degrees. She was even going for a doctorate degree in addiction so she could kind of understand it more. But she said, what do we do? What do we do a lot of times? And especially us as Native American people that are educated, people that attain degrees, higher education, they have a lot of things that, like our mental health. I don't want to pick on mental health. Mental health, what do? They want to diagnose us as Natives. They want to study us. They want to evaluate us. They want to medicate us. But a lot of times they don't listen to us. Over the years, Ed, a lot of these Native American men come into class. Terry, just send me to jail. Excuse my language, that white mental health worker is never going to relate to me. I just want to go to jail. And so they've done that. And so what fatherhood and motherhood sacred has done, it's brought it down to a level of spirituality. We try to uplift that person. We try to motivate them. We don't try to say, okay, Ed, you have antisocial personality, alcohol dependent. We don't label them. We just work with them. And so here, 19 years in our court, in our tribal court, if had a judgment of conviction, someone gets put on probation, there it is. Check mark, must complete. Mother is sacred, check mark, must complete. Father is sacred, must complete. Addressing family violence. My wife, in her wisdom, with what I do in fatherhood and motherhood, she asked me, how do we really help our young Native students who need help? I was going around giving her all my moves. When I got done, she says, honey, my God, you forgot to mention the most important thing, that not just we as parents, as teachers, social workers, judges, we need to listen to these children. And so she created a listening circle. And so that listening circle, Ed, has been so powerful because a lot of the children, Mr. Medina, you hit the nail on the head. I feel like I'm invisible. No one listens to me. No one. And so what came out of that is they asked me to go into the homes and do a family listening circle with the fathers and mothers. Then I get in there, talk about father and motherhood. Let me back up real quick. I think I sent some information, but in our fatherhood program, motherhood program, we have 5 principles. If I don't look at the book, the first one is the big C word, choices. Choices, every day we make choices. A lot of times, Ed knows, he's been in our court, we've had people come in there shackled up, handcuffed over and over again because of the choices they make. It goes back to selfishness, self-centeredness. Finally, they come into the fatherhood program and they learn about how selfish they were. And so we talk about choices. Then we go through the book. We have a participant workbook that the relatives get to keep. And so in that book, we go through the readings. They become teachable. And how do you become teachable? You got to listen. You got to listen and you got to want it. In my mirror, in my office, I got a mirror. It's a spirit mirror. And I make people look in that mirror, because a lot of times people come in here with their mother, father, grandparents, their children. We're all here. Ed, we want you to sober up. We want you to be a good man, good woman. But look at, there it is. I make them look in that mirror. Stare into your spirit, because you got to want it for yourself. And so it's a visual, and the people see it, and then slowly they make a change. So we talk about choices, being teachable. Then we talk about service. Serve your children, serve your companion. If you're Native, serve your tribe, serve your community. And so it's all about giving back, service. And then we talk about wisdom. You know, I'm getting a little gray here. Ed's getting a little gray, you know. I'm growing my hair out, so I at least still grow hair. We talk about wisdom. You don't have to be an old, you don't have to, sorry guys, turn this off. You don't have to be an OG, an old guy like me and Ed to have wisdom. You can be as young as how old you are, because we go through life, we tell them like this, we go through life, what happens? We have experiences. So we say, if I had the chalkboard out, so through your experiences, hopefully sooner or later, you're going to gain a little knowledge. Finally, hopefully, you're going to come to a place where you finally understand, I can't drink and drive, I can't drink, I can't drug. So all that equals wisdom. So through our experiences, we gain that wisdom and don't do no more. We make that change. And so then we talk about the creator, the foundation. You know, we're not talking about a religion. We say we don't endorse the Catholics, Native American Church, the Protestant. It's all about that person's spirituality. And so through spirituality, I try to empower people. That's my title, probation officer, but this Fatherhood, Motherhood Sacred program now is growing. So Mr. Pooley is going to be here for 3 days. Al's kind of gone international now. He's all over the world now, but his programs are not just in a lot of the tribal courts around Indian country, but now they're going to be like Salt River Indian Reservation, Gila River, they're right there. Phoenix, a suburb. There's Scottsdale right there. So finally, the probation officers are going to be coming into the training. State of Nebraska, state probation, I'll be contracting with them. The Dismissed Charities, the federal halfway house in Sioux City, Iowa, where a lot of the people come out of prisons. They're gonna have me over there this summer. And then with the other program, not just for the youth, but with the adult, my wife created another program. She created 2 of them: Native American AA and just an AA program. AA stands for Attitude Adjustment. People have, excuse my language, people have shitty, piss poor attitudes. There's no respect. And so this program, with the natives, we're gonna talk about building who they are. And so it's a really intense program that make them think about themselves, looking in that mirror. Who are you? Who are you, Ed? You know, we talk about people in our program, they live double lives, right? They live a good life, then over here, they're sneaking around. We cover everything in our Father and Mother Sacred program. We talk about being obedient, having honor, respect, spirituality, have integrity. So the fathers and mothers, Raul Laura, I don't know if you remember Raul Laura. So here in Winnebago, when we started this program, we honored Raul maybe 5 years ago. He graduated, you don't graduate one time, 12 sessions, then you graduate. So Raul Laura came to class over 600 times, and he come through, he shares his story. If a lazy, drunk, pothead guy like me went to prison can stop drinking, smoking pot through the Father Sacred program, anybody can. So we use him, but he's going to be working next week, but I got some of the fathers and mothers now that are going to be out, kind of just give a testimony where their life was before father and mother came into their life, and where it's at now. They're pillars of the community. And we say, we don't think about it. Like when I travel, there might be 100 people, 500 people. So I said, how many teachers we got in here? Hey, 1 or 2 hands go up. How many mothers and fathers we got in here? Almost every hand goes up, because we tell fathers and mothers, if you think about it, you are the first teacher. What your children see and hear is what they become. So for me, it's like a lot of times we already know the answer in this curriculum, but it's like that bright light goes on. The way Mr. Pooley created the program, how he worded it, it's so simple. And I was talking about people, sometimes they attain a higher education. And a lot of times native people, I'll pick on the native people, they get disconnected, and because they attain this higher level of education, they get disconnected from their spiritual ways and their native ways. And they talk about different modalities of treatment. They talk like a scientist, a researcher. and the people they're trying to talk to have no idea what they're talking about. None. They look at me for what are they talking about? So right now we have new people in our behavioral health here in Winnebago Mental Health. I swear to God, man, they don't leave their office yet. I seen one of them finally. I seen them at the store. I said, oh my God, let me take a picture of you. She finally left her office. But see, they're so trained that respect that, but then at the same time, it's like I was one quick story. I had about 48 people of Woodbury County when we first started. The guy from Jerry Foxhoven from state of Iowa came down. The state DHS director. We had judges in there, social workers, all kinds of people. About 48, 50 of them in there. And so I was talking about fatherhood, motherhood, sacred. About we take a different approach. We want to uplift them. We want to serve them. We want to be there to support them through spirituality. And so I was telling the people, all you good people, educated, smart, degrees, all these kind of things. I said, but I'm telling you one thing, the best and the most respectful way I can, Your Honor. Judge Mary Sokolowski, she's still on the bench. She's going to retire. She's 73. She's been on the bench almost 40 years. And old sister of mine. So I said, Your Honor, I'm telling all you good people here, when you work with a Native family, I'm going to say this in a good way. You can't think like a white man. You can't think like a white lady. How are you going to serve Native people if you don't know how we are? You got to learn about us, our culture, tradition. Like Ed's Omaha, I'm a Dakota Sioux Indian. My wife's Winnebago. 3 different tribes, 3 different languages, 3 different traditions. So, but the bottom line, spirituality, eagle feathers, cedar sage, sweetgrass, and tobacco. We all know how sacred that is. And so, like tonight now, these people, I can't even take a break. I'm surrounded up there by the white mothers, the white fathers. They're taking notes. They're going to order their own book, and they never heard nothing like this before. For me, it goes back to that respect. When people respect you and trust you, they're gonna tell you everything. And so for me here, I'm blessed. I can't sing, I can't draw. I just get up and talk. And I don't care what color you are. We could be in Africa, Germany, Australia. The universal language of father and mother is sacred. So Mr. Pooley, Consuela Wakanda, he blessed Mr. Pooley to create these writings. And so it's impacted everyone. Let me stop. If there's any other question, I go on and on.
No. Keep on. What you're saying, people need to hear.
Yeah, I was going to say the best part about it is that we don't have to hear from Cindy.
Cindy, no respect. I swear to God. No
I know, none.
There's no shame.
Ed needs to take a class.
Let me ask you this: are there any plans or anything on the table to bring this into Omaha or Lincoln?
Yeah.
The other urban areas where there's a large Native populations?
That's a good question, Ed. The Ponk has got an office down there. I've been around so long. I have the blessing to certify other facilitators. Now, what you said here, like I don't want to pick on the Omaha people, but I swear to God, man, 3 years I went down to Ed's office, seen Cassandra, went to social service, went to tribal council, put a flyer in their hand to come out to the conference. Oh, I'm too busy, T. You got stuff going on, T. So they never came over there. Not just Omaha, the Omaha, some people over here want a bagel. People think they can't get off that chair to go over there and learn something. See, and that's where I say people put up an invisible barrier, an obstacle. And so I always challenge people as a decision maker, make a decision. Back when I gave that talk up there, all those people shaking their heads. It's like that bright light came on. They finally got it. So I have a cultural sensitivity training I do. It's called DAGA, after my wife's brother. DAGA in the Winnebago language, uncle. DAGA stands for decisions, acknowledge, give awareness, and decision, acknowledge, give awareness, and gee, I'm having a senior moment. Anyway, so DAGA. So I went down to the FBI office down in Omaha. 70-some people in there. They shut it down. And I even created a Native American 101 quiz, not to embarrass anyone, but just to let them know what little they know about us as Native American. And they took it in a real respectful way. And they're like, wow, we had no idea. Well, now they have an idea. So like all the field federal agents, they're riding with me in the car, asking me questions. Last February, this past February, at 14 white probation officers from Woodbury County, Sioux Iowa, coming to the sweat lodge with me. And we at the conference, Rex Mueller, he's the Sioux City Police Chief in Sioux City, Iowa, Sheriff Chad Sheehan, and in South Sioux. Now, South Sioux, Dakota City, now they're gonna put together a Native Liaison Committee. So Ed Mahan, they're gonna be at the conference talking about collaboration, talking about our Indian people, what needs that we have. And so I can text any one of them. They're right there on the phone. T, what do you need? So now, like I said, the non-natives are really embracing fatherhood, motherhood sacred. And so I'm going to be doing a training with the law enforcement officers in Sioux City about being a blessing or a burden to the people. So my wife I'm getting so old now, Ed, I got a PowerPoint that I have to follow. Otherwise I just ramble on. But it's like, that's my talk at the conference is empowerment through spirituality. My other talk is spirituality empowerment. So that's what I try to do. And even here at the court, Patrick's been here for many years. We had they had honor, and they're supposed to honor me, but then it turned out to a roast. They kind of roasted me. So then two of our girls, Carmelita and Jen, they both graduated from Wayne State. So when we do things over here, got my sage out, got my eagle feather out. Randy was in charge this time, but sometimes we'll go smoke off the whole court. Prosecutors, they're taking that blessing, going to the courtroom, going to the holding cell. A lot of times people bring negative energy in there, so we just bless everybody. And so we do little spiritual things here, little native things over here that the non-natives really, like the ones that've been around here, they welcome that. They can feel it, and that's what it is. It's like the COVID virus. It's a virus that's inside. Look at with people. You get mad at somebody, what happens? That stays in there, bitterness. Then that could lead to hatred. That could lead to revenge. So even when we go into the sweat lodge, I was telling people, when we go in there and pray, man, that steam hit you, and we're feathering you off. You take tobacco, everything's supposed to go up to the heaven. Let everything go up. I was at a wake this morning. Blue Frenchman, Francis Frenchman Jr. passed away. His lifestyle took him out. He was 40. And so that's what I was saying this morning when I was talking, that when you come to the door, everything stays outside. You come to that door with compassion, love, trying to serve your people. So those 5 principles that I talked about, choice, teachable, wisdom, service, and creator, then here for, when I say our chapter, every chapter has their different ways. But here on our Winnebago chapter t-shirt, we added the words respect, honor, spirituality, and bravery. Because like I said, over the years, somebody will come, graduate from DDU, show me their 30-day certificate in patient treatment they completed. They come in on a Friday, Monday they're coming back through shackled up and handcuffed because they didn't want it for themselves, selfishness. In all this, I talk about some of the people that's in there shackled up and handcuffed over and over. I have to say a prayer because I know where their children are. Foster homes, group homes, detention centers. They're not even there. It goes back to so many people are self-centered. They're selfish. Me, myself, and I. And in the snap of fingers, we read it on TV. Someone loses it, kill their employee, kill their wife, kill themselves, murder, suicide. Their children, suicide because of that heartbreak that's in there. How are they gonna get rid of it? To me, spirituality, smoke them off through our native ways and our spirituality. Man, I've seen phenomenal changes in people. My next vision, one of my goals, I'm gonna put my peloton up here on my wall, get my tripod and the video camera out, and let the relatives talk. Because man, I swear to God, their stories are so powerful. Ed, I don't know if do you remember Nate Bigfire?
Yeah.
True story. Nate Bigfire right now, he's the president of the Fatherhood Sacred Chapter here in Winnebago. And he come to my class 1 year, 8 years ago. He's been on the red road for 8 years. So in that chapter of wisdom, I said, Nate, time out. Nate, how many times did I arrest you? I said, I can't remember. He's man, I don't want to talk about it. It had been over 10, 12, 15 times. And then I said, Nate, how many times have you been arrested? So he had to think about it. He thought about it. He said, he said, run my rap sheet. He said, not even counting my juvenile incarcerations. He said, I'm embarrassed to tell you, I was probably arrested and put in jail at least 500 times. Can you imagine that?
Cindy
He said
can.
the last time was he did 38 months in Leavenworth Federal Penitentiary for domestic violence on his wife. Now, fast forward, he's got his own sweat lodge, Sundancer. Him and his wife remarried. I think his son just went to the Marines. His daughter works at DDU. He's got I think he's got 2 or 3 grandchildren now. I could call Nate at midnight. Boom, when you need tea, I'm there. So he's a servant to the people. So for me, that's what I tell the people, I just try to serve people best way I can. Sioux City, Iowa, probably for me being successful, I've been around so long. A lot of my bros, they're retiring now.
Well, Terry,
I'll probably go a couple more years. We'll see.
Well, we're glad that you're able to come on and show
We
us.
are definitely going to have you again, Terry. I
No,
want to hear more
where
about
are you
it.
located at?
We're
What's
Omaha,
that?
Nebraska, Omaha.
Well, the invitation stands. Ed was one of my keynote speakers at the banquet. So this next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at Winnebago Casino, probably take an hour to drive down. I'll put you on my VIP list. We're gonna have a big banquet. We ain't gonna serve
We'll
no chicken,
be
man.
in
We're gonna
touch.
serve
I'll
big
send
roast
you
beef.
a message. Maybe Wednesday might work for me.
Wednesdays,
And-
we're gonna have Nate Big Fire is gonna do a blessing, cedar smoking. So we're gonna start at 9:30. Tori Kitchen, Tribal Chair is gonna be there. Al Cooley will be there. Some of my Pima people are coming in from Phoenix. So Wednesday the conference starts at 9:30, and then we'll go to about 3:30. Then we have the banquet Wednesday night, and then
Well, that's what we need to go to right there. We need to go to
Yeah,
the.
so you guys are all welcome.
I will be
Ed
out of
Priest, the
town,
natural
but you
speaker.
know what? I would love to talk more with you about this. We
Well-
have a group here called the Circle of Grandmothers, and that would be something amazing for them to go to be able to pass to our children. I would definitely like to talk to you. I'll find you.
Yeah, it's got my
We'll be in
contact number.
touch. Like I said, we appreciate you coming on, and there's more to talk about. We'll maybe schedule another time to have you on, and
Definitely.
All right.
then we can talk some more. But
All right.
our time.
It was great meeting you, Terry.
God bless. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for coming on. We'll be in touch.
Okay, Ed, God bless you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I want to talk a little bit about before we go. Our
Though, wouldn't that be great to get in the Intertribal Student Council parents? Some of these kids that we know here could
yes, but
really
let me
use
finish.
that.
Let me finish up, Cindy. We've got only a little bit of
okay.
time. Our knucklehead of the week, I put it on our page, is all the administrators in high schools and other schools that are denying our Native students the right and opportunity to wear their sacred regalia at graduation. So this week, Rick Santorum Knucklehead of the Week Award goes to any and all educational administrators that denying our graduates the opportunity and right to be able to wear their sacred emblems, are knuckleheads. Indians of the Week are all of those graduates. We appreciate you and can encourage you to keep on learning. Education is a lifelong pursuit.
Well, and luckily at UNO, it's encouraged. We used to give them special drops that were for Native students, and that was encouraged. I think a lot of the problems come at the high school level. I think the high school graduations have a lot of problems with it that they need to work it out.
And for them, they're knuckleheads. But having said that, I think we're out for this week. Kenny, can you take us out?
Thank you so much. Great show.